Hello Libra, welcome to my channel, Oracle Intuitions. My name is Catherine, and this is your energy forecast for June 2020. So we're going to start off the reading with energies that we may be bringing in from May going into June, energies that we need to focus on and allow throughout the month of June, energies that we need to let go of, release, and clear throughout the month of June. And also we're going to be closing off with some messages from the universe to help guide you. So I do have links for my Facebook, my Instagram, and my website if you're interested in a personal reading. They're all down below, as well as links to all the cards that I'm using. These are all in the description box. And also, just to let you know, sorry, I can't talk. These are general readings, so they may not resonate with everyone. Just take the messages as they feel good to you. Let the rest of them go. All right. So we're going to start off with beginning energies coming in from the month of May, going into June, possible energies for the month of June. All right. The Hermit. Okay, spending time to yourself or really looking into, for some of you, I'm feeling the next step. Okay. When I see the Hermit card, he's got his lantern, and sometimes a lantern, we might have just a small light source, and if we're in the dark, it's really showing the next step. So I feel like for some of you, you're taking one step at a time towards something. Now, this might be a goal. It might be toward a decision that you have to make. Maybe, you've let go of something and you're working towards taking that next step. All right. I feel like for some of you, you might also be just spending some time literally to yourself, or you're needing to spend time to yourself. You might be making, again, some decisions. You might have some internal conflicts that you're trying to deal with, maybe even external conflicts at this point. So yeah, that Five of Wands, what we just said about conflicts coming in. So this might be, within a relationship. This could be career, job, friends, family, take it as it resonates. But I do feel that you are craving some alone time. There might have been external conflicts that are coming at you. This could be, energies that you're feeling within yourself, and you're just needing to take some alone time, or you're needing to take some time in order to do some introspection within yourself, is what I'm getting. And the Star, yeah. So I feel like for some of you, you're actually, again, you're thinking about that next step. There may have been some conflicts that you've either let go of, or you may be, having to face throughout the month of June. But I'm also getting that, or throughout the month of May, and, may be going into June, sorry. But you're also seeing where it is that you want to go. So taking that time to yourself, allowing that Hermit energy to come through is also going to allow you to really start focusing in on what it is that you truly want, or what you're trying to achieve. And it may be also that you already have the idea that, of what it is that you want or what you're trying to achieve coming through, but you're leaving some sort of either internal or external conflict in the, behind. You're really allowing yourself to focus in on more about what it is that you want and need. You're looking into, do I even need this external or internal conflict, is what I'm getting. Okay. But I feel like some of you already have that goal in mind, or that goal is about to be coming through. Okay. You're already seeing the positive light behind it. You're allowing yourself to really go through this. I'm feeling like with this Hermit card, you're not really, going into this self-reflection is something that not only have you needed to do, but you've also wanted to do, and you're now taking that time to do it, is what I'm getting. So take that as it pertains to you, but we're going to get some clarifying cards. It's really odd, actually, because I'm really having a abundance of energy coming through. Like I suddenly just really got super tired. I just feel overwhelmed. So that might be pertaining for some of you, because I don't feel overwhelmed, but I have that feeling of, You know, when you have so many thoughts, or, you know, you've been dealing with so much that you just feel like your shoulders are tired. Like you're just, this is how I suddenly just started feeling. So, you know, that very well may pertain to some of you. So if I have trouble talking, you can understand as to why. Yeah, a lot of pride. I feel like you're trying to regain your pride. Okay. I feel like for some of you, you know, this internal or external battle, made you lose some pride, you know, and that, again, that might resonate with some of you. For some of you, it might be an overwhelming sense of pride that other people are sort of saying, look at, you know what, I feel like this for some of you here as well. I feel like for some of you, this overwhelming sense of pride, or your overwhelming, or maybe some sort of sense of ego, like you know, sometimes we get caught into ourselves where we're, you know, our ego is taking over ourselves. Okay. So, you know, maybe somebody's trying to explain their side of something, and that's where this battle is coming through. And I feel like for some of you, you're not letting go of your ego. You're sort of just taking things maybe as you want to take them, or you're only seeing your side of something. Okay. And it might be saying here, it's time to go in to this hermit phase in order to allow yourself to release some of that pride, some of that ego. It doesn't mean that you can't be prideful in yourself, but if our ego is overwhelming that pride and we're not listening to others, that can cause definitely a sense of conflict. I'm also getting here with that star is allowing yourself to go in and, you know, release some of that pride, release some of that ego. It does help us to see clearly. It helps us to see our goals or our achievements, or what it is that we need to work towards in a clearer light. Okay. And we're going to pull another clarifying card. Unleash your creativity. Yeah. I'm going to pull one more here for this entrapment. Yeah. So I feel like some of you may have been, you know, in this feeling of entrapment. And again, this can be, you know, within something external. It can be something, you know, it can be more of an internal feeling. I feel like maybe some of you were trapped. You might have been trapped within that pride and ego. And some of you might have already, you know, this is another thing that I'm feeling here. I feel like some of you are having a hard time, maybe possibly releasing that ego, or maybe somebody else's ego is coming through, and you're having a hard time with that, and it's asking you to unleash that creativity. So release ways, like find ways that will help you with your ego and with your pride, and to release this feeling of entrapment. It's actually interesting because he is wearing that quarantine mask that they used to wear in plague time. So this very well could have been, you know, through the last couple of months where, you know, pretty much all of us have been, you know, we've been sort of feeling that trapped type of feeling. So but I do feel that for some of you, you know, this feeling of creativity, unleash that creativity, it might be as you're going into this hermit mode, you're allowing yourself to see what it is that you truly want. So this hermit mode is going to bring about these new visions of what it is that you're truly trying to accomplish, or what it is that you want within your life. Sometimes we have to let go of our pride and ego, and sometimes we get so stuck in the, you know, the present. Like we might be with, let's say, a partner, or maybe we're in a job or whatever it is that's not making us truly happy, and we're getting these feelings of conflict, you know, but our pride and ego won't allow us to let it go, simply because of the fact that, you know, it might have been something that we truly wanted for a long time, and then we realize, oh, wait a minute, maybe I really don't want this, but our ego doesn't allow us to let it go. Okay, so take that as it pertains to you. But I am feeling that throughout the month of June, what you're going to be working on is your own accomplishments, or your own maybe sense of purpose, or what it is that you're looking for, you know, for your own true peace. Okay, with that Hermit card, that own true peace, your own true sense of pride. Okay, you know, not having to rely on others, not having to deal with, you know, this conflict, again, internally or externally in some manner. So we're going to look into things that we need to focus in on going into the month of June, and things that we can allow, basically messages coming through that will help us, to see what our next step is possibly, or maybe what it is that we can focus on in order to help us achieve that next step. Okay. All right. Oops, that didn't want to spread. What is going on? All right, let's try that one more time. There we go. Okay. I feel like this one. Give back. Today is the day to cast aside normal routines and make your main purpose to serve. It is about giving back without any thoughts or expectations of getting anything in return. Reach out and touch other people's spirits. It is highly unlikely, as it's highly likely that someone really needs it today. So again, what I'm getting here is there may have been some sort of balance, an unbalance within your life. It might be possible that, again, for some reason, this pride and ego, this pride card is coming through, and you may have been either, taking too much or giving too much. Okay. And if for some of you, this is going to resonate, as far as the taking, and sometimes our ego, again, we want to take things that may not particularly be of things that we no longer need. And maybe just for some of you, our pride has been hurt simply because of the fact that, and we're having that feeling of entrapment simply because of the fact that we have been giving too much. Okay, so again, take that as that resonates. Self-love, yeah. Now's the time to nurture and heal your love, nurture and heal. Again, I can't talk. Heal yourself. Self-love is not simply a state of mind about feeling good. It's a state of appreciation for yourself that grows and matures from actions you take to support your body, mind, and soul. Again, that Hermit card coming through, this is a time to go in and discover who it is that you really are. Discover who it is that, what it is that you really want. I feel like for some of you, you may have already, you may have been in a place where you've always had, maybe somebody around that has helped, or, maybe for some of you, you may have relied on others to help you achieve, or to help you be, to get further, or maybe you've always felt that you've needed a partner in your life or something along that line. And it's actually telling you here to learn to love yourself. And again, I feel like this pride card coming in, for some of you, it might be that you're not accepting help, from others. And that's, again, where that self-love comes back, and you need to allow people to give to you. But I am getting here too that June is going to be, again, this is really a good time to go into yourself, really discover what it is that you need support. People come into your life for many reasons. Some you learn from and then they move on, and then others return often because you need to learn more from those individuals. Others remain beside you throughout your entire life. So I feel like for some of you, you may have, you have this support around you, but what I'm also getting is that you've always, I'm going to put this a few ways, okay? Because this is the energy that's coming in. I'm feeling that for some of you, you've always had support, and it's now time to, let go of the need for support. Okay. I feel for some of you to allow the energy of support to come in. I feel, again, for some of you that you may have always had people around you. And like it says here, some you learn from and then they move on. For some of you, I feel like you might be in a place of wanting to move on. You might be also in that sort of feeling of entrapment. So you might not be, for some of you, this might be some sort of situation where you're not feeling, or, or where you are feeling that entrapment is what I'm getting. Okay. And it's now time to unleash that creativity. It's time to learn to nurture yourself. Okay. You don't always need to give back is what I'm getting. You might have already given back enough and you're not receiving, that return of energy is what I'm getting as well. So for some of you, you might be thinking about taking a step away, moving forward. leaving a situation of some sort is what I'm getting here. I just feel like pulling one more. Inspire passion. Life devoid of passion can be a boring, uninspired blank canvas that slowly drains the soul. Now is the time to reignite your passions and rejoin life. This is an opportunity to set new goals, which will in turn reconnect you with all that is sacred. Yeah, I feel like for some of you, it's definitely time, that creativity card was coming in. I feel for some of you, you have always had either somebody in your life or you've relied upon maybe people, or maybe you felt that you couldn't do something on your own, and this could definitely be relationships. Maybe you felt like you always needed to have somebody around, or, maybe even if they weren't the best choice for you, or maybe you actually just stayed with people simply because of there's, some sense of, we've been together for a long time, or we've known each other for a long time, but I'm not truly happy is what I'm getting. And it's really saying now it's also time for that self-love. For those of you that are in relationships, maybe you are, truly happy, take a look at, external circumstances around you and see what it is that you are giving maybe too much from, or giving too much to, or taking too much from. And I feel like there's a sense of balance that's really coming through here. But in order to achieve that balance, you need to let go of those feelings of entrapment. And you also need to let go of that ego, okay? Or allow some of that pride and ego to come through. But this Hermit card is really showing you here, it is time to go into yourself, do some serious introspection. Okay, make decisions that are going to be of the benefit to yourself. Okay. So, I'm just going to pull some clarifying cards for what it is that we need to focus on and allow. So these are clarifying. I feel like this is a big month for you. I feel like you might have, even in May for some reason, or, maybe even before that, maybe a couple months before that, whatever it is. I feel like some of you had, you really weren't feeling satisfied, but, you might have actually maybe tried giving something another shot. I don't know if that makes any sense to some of you. Like you might have went, okay, maybe I'll just try a little longer, I hear the words, I got my way. So take again as that resonates, whether that's coming from you or maybe somebody else. But if it is coming from you, take a look at that pride. Are you hindering somebody, or are you holding somebody back from something? Do you need to go in and recognize the fact that you'll be okay without putting your agenda onto somebody, or somebody putting their agenda onto you? Okay. Maybe it's that ego, maybe it's the pride, however it resonates. So, for clarifying cards, yeah, 10 of Spring. So this is a 10 of Wands. You're working too hard and the stress will soon become too much. Reach out for help from others. Take some time to play and enjoy life. So I feel like, this support card coming in, people come and go for a reason. Sometimes we need help, especially, if you are leaving a certain situation, you might need, the help and support from people. But I do feel also, the things that, you need to allow and focus on is also take a look as to what is burdening you. Okay. What is it that is weighing on your shoulders? What is it that you're truly trying to achieve? And do you need to continue to be in this particular situation? Is it time to unleash that creativity and release the burdens that are, may have been playing, a role on you? It could also be others are putting burdens on you that are no longer yours. Okay. Because again, with that give and take type of energy, it feels like, maybe others have been putting burdens on you, and it's time to take that step away and take that step forward. So the King of Winter is coming in, King of Swords. So at this time, it's very important for you. It's very important that you communicate clearly, be objective and unemotional, and act as professionally as possible. If you need advice, seek out the most experienced expert you can find. Again, it's not telling you to maybe seek out some advice. For some of you, this very well may be like some sort of counseling. It may be going to somebody as a professional. Sometimes the King of Winter, he can pertain to people like, I have sort of looked at him at times as like a lawyer. or somebody, you know, if you're feeling like you need to leave a situation and there is some sort of lawyer involved, this might be, you know, what they're talking about here, but it is talking about allowing, like, take a look at things, not from an emotional point of view, but from an objective point of view, like that unemotional point of view, and take a look and just take a step back. Okay, take a step back and try to look at it as an outsider within the situation and try and figure out what it is that either you're placing a burden on somebody or somebody is putting a burden on you. Okay, and I feel like for some of you, you really need to take this third party sort of look at it in order to come up with, you know, take a look at everything from all sides. What have I been doing? What have they been doing? What is this external circumstance? What is this? You know, what is it? And also take a look at what would truly make me happy. Because when that King of Winter comes in, he can also really talk about, you know, sometimes spiritual insights is what I get. Because, you know, it is like that king of that. You know, when I look at the swords, for me, it's a very spiritual type of card to some degree as well, because it does pertain like to the mental state, higher, you know, crown chakra, all of these. And you might be, you know, taking a look at that, and maybe there's, you know, some knowledge that's coming through that you're dismissing or you're recognizing. Okay. And that too, yeah, you've got a decision to make. Two of Swords is coming through. Procrastination, worrying about what others think, is blocking you from making a decision. If you're torn between your own desires and someone else's, follow your own guidance. Exactly what we talked about. Like, you know, it's funny, you can't, you know, it couldn't be more clear. Like, it's obvious that you're trying to make a decision of something. Now, again, you know, whether this is your own pride and ego that's coming through, maybe, you know, and pride and ego are two different things. Pride is about, you know, feeling good and satisfied within yourself. Ego is sort of the negative aspect of that. And so take a real look and make a decision kind of based on, excuse me, you know, this King of Winter sort of point of view. Okay. So look and see it. Are you holding somebody back in regards to something? Is it your own needs that you feel that you might be hindering somebody? Is that where that pride comes in? Is that where that creativity, in order for that self-love and moving forward and going into that hermit stage in order to see your own, what it is that you want to accomplish? Or, you know, is somebody else holding you back where you feel that you can't envelope yourself into that self-love and really look into, you know, what it is that you want and need. So again, take that as, you know, as it's coming through, but we're going to take a look into things that you need to release and things that you need to clear for the month of June. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm going to cough again. We have all kinds of trees, and you know, there's a lot of allergies in the air right now, and it's kind of overwhelming actually. So if I do sound a little stuffed up or if I'm coughing, I apologize. Okay, so these are things that we need to release and clear for the month of June. Things to focus on about releasing and clearing for the month of June. Back off. Yeah, back off. Somebody's got to back off, whether it's you or whether it's them. Again, you know, this could be external, it could be emotional, but you know that I feel like for some of you, this might be literally like you're wanting somebody to back off, or somebody is telling you to back off. Like they, you know, it's time, you know, to make that decision and move forward. You know, again, it could be, you know, just in regards to that Hermit card coming through. Okay. But, you know, back off. I need my space. I need my time. I need to do some serious thinking is what I'm kind of getting here. But if somebody is telling you to back off, maybe it's somebody else that is coming and saying, look I'm done. I've got to move on. This is also the time for, you know, that self-love to come through. I'm also feeling here is that for some of you where that pride and ego is coming through, you might be trying to hang on to them. but they're very clearly saying, look at, I'm done. I've got to back off, or I've got to take some time. I need some time to myself, whatever it is. Try not to let your ego interfere with that, is what I'm also getting. Again, take that as it resonates. Just being honest with what's coming through. Cleanup time. Yeah, cleanup time. Time to, time to get rid of the old, right? Time to, get rid of those burdens, that 10 of Wands energy that was coming through. It's time to get rid of that. We no longer need to feel entrapped. We don't no longer need to feel that type of energy. We can, that 10 of Wands that's coming through, cleanup time to release those burdens. Again, whether it's somebody else that was, saying maybe back off, or maybe you needing, or them needing their alone time, or vice versa. This time that going into and cleaning up, relieving yourself of the things that you're no longer needing is really going to make that difference. Ancient wisdom. So I feel like for some of you, this is actually really needed. I feel like for some of you, you may have been in this place where this is an old energy, like you might have already, maybe you've always, I'm trying to live that. Maybe you've always needed somebody there, or you felt that you needed somebody there. Maybe you felt that you weren't strong enough on your own, is what I'm getting. Okay, so I feel like, for some of you, it's basically saying, look, this is an old energy that you can clean up. Okay, you don't need that energy to carry you forth. It's time to go into yourself, really learn your own strength as well. Okay, we're going to get some clarifying cards in regards to what it is that we need to release and what it is that we need to clear. This is a really interesting, I feel like June is going to be really a month of strength for you, is what I'm getting. I feel like this is going to be so much, it's like a feeling of self-development is what I get. And it might be a self-development that you've never really gone through before. You might have gone through different, types of, development throughout your time, but you've never really, like, this is going to be a stronger month for it. Like, there's going to be a lot of realizations that come through. There's going to be a lot of new hope, new creativity, new accomplishments that you haven't, really experienced in the past. Okay. The Fool. Yeah. I love the cards. You can't make this up. The Fool coming through. Yeah, new. Time to take a leap of faith. Time to take a new adventure. Time to, see where all of this is going to lead you. So if it is somebody that has said back off, and I'm kind of done. It's really saying, look at, take this opportunity. Take a new leap of faith. Take a new journey for yourself. Don't try to hinder and hold on to something that is that either they don't want anything more to do with it, or, again, that doesn't need to be a particular person. It could be, whatever aspect it is within your life, but it's time to take a new adventure. And if it's you that's going into that hermit phase, take a look as to what new adventures you want to experience. What is the new, like, what makes you excited? Take that leap of faith, jump off that cliff, I don't mean literally jump off a cliff. Please don't do that. But you know what I'm getting at. You like, this is a new adventure. He's standing on the edge of this cliff and he's like excited. He's taking a new adventure for himself, is what I'm getting. Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, definitely. I feel like for some of you, there is a fear, of doing this. But here's the thing, is that if you take a slow and steady pace, okay, if you set your goals, if you see where it is that you want to go, or have a feeling of what it is that you're trying to accomplish, you don't need to, completely jump into it. Like, like I said, you don't need to jump off a cliff. But what I am getting here is that slow and steady pace will help you with the progress toward what it is that you're seeing. That Star card again coming through, where, you can see what it is that you want for your future. You have an idea of what it is that your future is going to hold. You're excited about moving forward. Just a second. I'm sorry, my dog is barking and I don't know as to why. Okay. But what I'm getting here is you don't need to go full force. Okay. Even though we're unleashing our creativity and, we're taking this new chance, remember, to have some sort of steady footing in order to move forward, because that will help us feel more accomplished, and we're going to feel more secure and moving into that future by taking it slowly, really making our goals, really making our plans. And I feel like that hermit moment, that hermit mode that you might be going into from June, or from May into June, is really going to help. And there's that Knight of Wands. So again, once you're feeling more secure about what it is that you're trying to accomplish, or what it is that you see, or where it is that you're trying to go, you can then start using that energy about moving forward. For some of you, there might even be a new person coming into your life. Okay, I am feeling like there's a new passion here. I feel like taking that slow and steady pace is going to bring about the feeling of passion towards whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. Okay, so again, you don't need to rush into it, because sometimes when we rush into it, we're, even though we might be hitting our blocks of fear and we push through them, we're not really releasing the things that we need to release, like those blocks and barriers that help us feel more secure and moving into the future. So this Knight of Wands energy is going to, it's going to, I just have to pause the video for a minute because I don't know why my dog is barking. Just give me 1 second. Sorry. I am so sorry about that, Libra. So, okay. Yeah, basically what I'm saying here is, when we take our time and we really take things at a pace that is going to be of a more, when we're feeling sure and steady in our next step, then we're going to jump into something with more of a passion towards it, rather than just jumping in and we're not sure exactly, what it is that we want. We can end up reverting and going back into repeating old habits or old behaviors. So I feel in order to achieve this star, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, or wherever it is that your goal or your next step is, take a look at it. Take your time, but have that excitement and that adventure to go forward. It's just, maybe you might have to take it in a slow and steady type of pace. So we're going to take a look into relationships and see what is coming in for the month of June at this current time. Let's see where we are in regards to relationships. I feel like Libra, this is going to be a very accomplishing month for you. It just feels like a really strong energy of some sort of, independence. Okay. And again, whether it's you leaving something or going towards something, whatever it is, I feel like this is going to be a change of a month for you, like where new ideas, innovations, maybe just, a sense of accomplishment is going to come in for you throughout this month. So let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. So again, that support card coming through, and, especially if you are leaving something, okay, behind, again, however it resonates with you, it is saying here, maybe ask for support. You may need support. You may need help from others. And, or it may be also looking within yourself and accepting support or guidance from, your higher self or from your guides. Okay. Flirt. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. So I feel like for some of you, May might have been a very heavy month. Now, for some of you, this may very well may have to do with, actually relationships. Maybe there's some, some of you that are looking at somebody and, maybe a person of interest. This also could be for, people that in some sort of committed relationship. If you've been in a heavier energy where, that, things have been heavy, where you've needed to have that hermit sort of feeling, or maybe there's been some sort of conflict, around you, take a look at things in a more lighthearted type of way, and especially if it's toward a person of interest. Okay, if you haven't, especially now with that entrapment feeling, that feeling like maybe, because of us being in, quarantine, really worldwide, if you're not seeing that progress from somebody, simply because of the fact maybe you haven't seen each other for a long time, maybe it was a new relationship, maybe you weren't sure exactly where it was going at that time, and then quarantine happened, all of that stuff. I feel like taking a different and new positive energy towards it, that more lighthearted energy, will really help within that relationship. And this again could extend to maybe family and friends, but I do feel kind of a heavy energy around you, and that's where I felt that 10 of Wands energy, like something feeling like a bit of a burden to you, and it's time to release that and extend that more positive energy, not only to yourself but all other, as well as others around you. Okay, soulmate. So yeah, this is your soulmate. So what I'm actually getting here is, I feel like for some of you, you may have been wondering if somebody is your soulmate. Now, here's the thing. Even though I feel like for some of you, you might have met somebody else. You might have met somebody and you're wondering if this person is your, is supposed to be in your life, if this is a soulmate. Maybe this is your current partner. Maybe this is, maybe you're wondering if that soulmate is going to come through. So I do feel like extending that lighthearted energy towards not only another person, but towards yourself will help this situation. It will help clear a situation. Now, one of the things that I do hear coming through is that, remember that soulmates sometimes are here actually to help us. So friends, soulmates don't need to be a romantic relationship. They can be friends, family, people around us. Okay, they are our soulmates. So this is what I'm getting too. And I feel like if some of you did feel a deep connection to somebody, again, friends, family, coworkers, people around you, person of interest, whatever it is, I do feel, I'm not sure if this is exactly a romantic relationship though. I am feeling for some of you it is, but I am also getting the sense of, this might be, even if someone's a soulmate, again, how we had that card that sometimes people are only here, for a short time. Like they're only supposed to be coming in, people come in for different reasons, some to, learn from, and then they move on. I feel like for some of you that might be pertaining. Okay, and maybe that's where you're also feeling that entrapment, because, if we feel like somebody is our soulmate, or if we've been told somebody is our soulmate, but we're not exactly happy within a relationship, we might be scared to take that walk away. And, just because we've put all of these expectations, on ourselves, or maybe somebody else has put expectations onto us. Okay. And, again, that feeling of entrapment is coming through, that hermit, that, self-love. So when sometimes when you look at the card and you go, okay, well, great, the soulmate card's coming through, this definitely could be, and for some of you, it very well could be like a new person. It could, maybe you're about to meet somebody, and sometimes we can't meet somebody or have that actual soulmate connection if we're trapped in a relationship, where we're not getting, where that pride and ego come in, or where we're not having that equal exchange of energy between us. So again, take that as it is, but I do feel like, I do feel for some of you, this is a soulmate coming in. It's, I don't know why, I almost feel like this might be a new person for many. Again, it could be within your current relationship, but if your relationship was feeling very heavy, the last few months, it might be the fact that you need to either start putting a more lighthearted energy into that relationship, or it might be just somebody that maybe, if you're feeling overwhelmed within that relationship and you've really tried everything that you can, because we did feel that, that unbalance of energy where you might have been giving, and maybe this person is just like, nope, back off, I'm done. That very well could be a person that They were just meant to be here for a short time. They were just meant to be here to help you in some aspect, in some sort of learning lesson. So again, take that as, it resonates with you, but it is coming in the Four of Pentacles. I feel like somebody's hanging on. Again, I feel like this might be possibly you, Libra, like you might be hanging on. It could be somebody hanging on to you, or it could be hanging on to an idea or a notion, but I'm getting for some of you that you've been sort of in an unhappy type of, relationship, but you're hanging on, or maybe the other person is unhappy. And again, I get that kind of back off sort of feeling. Again, it could be you, could be them, but somebody's hanging on. Okay, that's what I'm getting. And I'm feeling like the energy, it's time to let it go. What did we just say? Four of Swords energy. You know what? Even if you're not quite maybe ready to let it go, take a step back. Okay, that Four of Swords energy is very much like that Hermit energy. And it's time to take a break. It's time to, go into yourself. Really, really think this month about what it is that you want. And for some of you that have already given it the thought and you're ready to move forward, just take that slow and steady progress toward what it is. Even if this is a sort of a current or a new coming relationship, just make sure that you're entering into it for the right reasons. Okay, I feel like for some of you, you might be hanging on to the idea of a soulmate. You might be hanging on to idea like past or old ideas or issues or whatever it is that, keep coming through, but it's time to take a step back. It's time to take some, thought for yourself. Allow yourself to really figure out what it is that you want. And that Four of Wands. So it's funny. We got 444 here. Okay, so these are, this is like divine guidance. When you look up, 444, it really talks about like this is angel guidance. So it is saying here, take, let go of what no longer is serving you in whatever aspect it is that you no longer need to hang on to. Take a look into your pride, into your ego. Okay, and see if it's making you hang on to something, or maybe the pride and ego of somebody else. But it is time to take a step back, and whether it's you or another person, there is going to need to be this time, to really think and solve some things out. But then it's interesting because we got this Four of Wands and this soulmate energy. So I feel like there might be, for some of you, is taking that step back will help repair a relationship, or it will help increase a relationship that's trying to come through. It's trying to be created. And I feel like for a good portion of you, this might very well be a new relationship. So when I'm seeing this Four of Wands energy, for me, it's like 1111. We've got 444. I feel like for some of you, you've been really given the guidance, okay, that it is that you need to move forward. But you're really hanging on. You're hanging on to something that is no longer necessary for you. Okay. And again, this could be pride. It could be ego. It could be feelings. It could be emotions. It could be, some sort of mental state. Excuse me. But I'm really feeling like it's time to take a rest. Okay. Take a rest. Really think about what it is that you want. I feel like if for a good portion of you, someone else is coming in. Okay. If again, if it is in your current relationship, it very well could be, confirming, like, look at, by taking these steps, it's going to help your relationship go to where it's supposed to go. But I also feel that taking that step back is really going to help you balance your true self. It's really going to help you recognize and figure out what it is that you want. And my camera just moved all over. Sorry about that. My apologies. Okay, so we're going to get some closing messages here in regards to messages from the universe. We're actually going to be using the Mystical Shaman Oracle. So I am going to be reading from this book simply because I do love the messages that come through in this book. I feel like I feel like for some of you, you're most definitely looking at something else. And again, it doesn't need to particularly be a relationship, but I do feel it is relationship. And I feel like for some of you, you've been trapped in a cycle of an old relationship. Okay. And again, that doesn't need to be particularly a romantic partner. It doesn't need to be, whatever it is, but I am feeling like a new energy is really coming through, but you have to release yourself maybe from the old energy is what I'm getting. It might be that you have to let go of the old energy in order to receive the new energy. Okay. And that, that even releasing that within that relationship can sometimes change the energy. But, again, I just kind of feel like there's new energy coming through for you guys. So wild woman, I like that. Okay. Let's take a look. 62. The essence of the card. When the wild woman dances into your reading, she reminds you of the essence of authenticity and freedom. Divested of all social constraints and cultural conformity, the wild woman holds up a mirror to your essential self, the true essence of who you are and who you're meant to become. She is a reminder of the bright light within each of us that gets dimmed by the restrictions imposed upon us by the expectations of society. She reminds us that in order to be fully present to life, we must uncover the light and let it shine brightly regardless of the perceived consequences. The invitation of the card is when the wild woman comes to dance in your reading, you're invited to shine brightly and to know that your own true self is being called out to engage in the world. This is exactly what we're talking about. Don't hold yourself back. Like, allow yourself to move forward to what it is that you're trying to accomplish. This is a symbol that your long-held dream is beginning to take root and wants to be expressed. Your authentic self doesn't fit in a box. It needs the freedom to shine. Again, coming to that entrapment card, if some of you have been feeling entrapped within a relationship or within a state of mind, or whether, other external circumstances or internal circumstances, it's time to have the courage and step into the light. The wild woman says, shine brightly, dance with abandon, be yourself, and let the Great Spirit decide what happens. You'll be happy that you did. The medicine. Excess for its own sake is a sign of imbalance. This is a warning that you may be trapped in obsessive thinking or behavior, looking for release in places that will never provide it. Let go, lest you become like the hungry ghost of Chinese Buddhist lore that can never be fulfilled. Again, that Four of Pentacles energy that we had, that can be also obsessive behavior, okay, as well as that that pride and ego, okay. True release comes from trusting the fluidity of life. That Knight of Pentacles that came through, remember that things flow, just allow it to take its place. Understanding that just as a river needs its banks to flow through, so too do you need boundaries around your thinking and behavior. Now is the time to simplify, be mindful, and connect to that light within. So here's what I'm getting, Libra, is that it is time. If you've been feeling like, if throughout your life you've been having this feeling like you have to rely on others instead of yourself, or you need some sort of external, satisfaction in some way instead of allowing yourself to shine, it is really saying here, go into yourself. I do feel like even for some of you, that soulmate energy might be within yourself, but you haven't allowed yourself to really look at it and recognize it before. Maybe you've always had to have people around you in order to help you perceive that that was some sort of happiness. Maybe you have been really independent, but at the same time, you're really looking for that soulmate to come through. Maybe that soulmate is you, or it could be, somebody trying to come through, which I have felt for some of you, because I did feel like this being a new relationship. But in order to do so, you have to let go. You have to allow yourself to be that wild woman. And in order to be that wild woman, we have to be authentic with ourselves. Don't hang on to something out of ego. Don't hang on to something out of pride, and don't stay with something, due to your pride or ego as well. I feel like this is going to be a really clearing month for many of you. So I truly hope that has helped. Please leave a comment below if this did resonate with you. Please please subscribe. I truly appreciate it. And thank you so much, and take care. Many blessings.